Good afternoon, early evening, and it's FMA Discussion, episode 506. And today we're going to have Guru Jeff on, and he's going to talk about his novel. If you guys, I'm sure, have seen it in FMA Discussion. So we're going to talk about his inspiration for it, what led him to do it, where you can get it, and what it's all about. But this is not going to be bio related. If you're interested in seeing Jeff's bio as far as FMA, then I would refer you to episode 22, 4 years ago. Hard to believe. But at any rate, without further ado, here is Guru Jeff. Hey, hey, how are you?
Hey Dean, what's happening?
So, pleasure having you on as always.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh my God, happy to do. I think it's really neat. I don't claim to know much about what you've done, but I think it's going to be a lovely conversation to find out what the inspiration was, et cetera, et cetera. Before we do that, so how things been on over there on the fiery side of the world?
Doing good, doing good. New challenges, obviously, new year and everything like that. But everything's going as well as it could. New avenues, exploring, and all that kind of stuff. So that's always exciting. So, and this is part of it. The new
Yeah.
exploration, as it were, and a new venue that we can promote FMA in general. And so I'm excited. It's something I've never done before.
Yeah, I mean, because just to give the folks some background, I mean, obviously you've been training martial arts for a long time, but that's not your only hobby, right?
That's correct. By job, I am a graphic artist, so I have that background as well. And that the two has always been a constant in my life. So it's only a matter of time till both of them will collide and something will come out. But the gestation on this particular project is long actually because as you know, life happens and whatnot. But the thing that was a constant also was that it's always on the back of my mind. There's always that, you have I think you can relate to this with FMA discussion, right? You had this thing in
Yeah.
the back of your head for a long time, right? But you never had that how am I going to get this going type
Yeah.
of thing, right? And it took COVID, right?
Right before, and then COVID really accelerated the growth. Yeah.
Exactly, right? The COVID actually pushed that to the forefront.
Yeah.
That and it's basically the same thing with me. It's like, if I'm gonna do this, what am I? Why not now? Why not during this time? So actually, during the COVID season, I was able to actually combine everything that I've had and actually create something that would be an actual book. So, um, yeah, so it's always been in the back of my mind. It's always been, and I'm also as a fan of popular culture. I love you know sci-fi fantasy movies. I love Lord of the Rings, of course.
Mm.
Like that. Those things that really uh, pump me up and whatnot. Of course, Conan the Barbarian back in the day. All those. Oh, we're OG, right? I mean, we're really.
Conan.
It's not Jason Momoa. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? It's
Yeah.
that far back. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
funny. Conan.
So,
I haven't heard Conan the Barbarian. Oh my God. That's
yeah,
been,
the good
yeah.
one, the first one, not the second one.
Not
The
the
second
second
one,
one.
not so much, but the first one, right? So those are like my influences also because I'm an artist. Of course, when I was growing up, I collected comic books and whatnot. I'm more selective today. Now they call graphic novels. The graphic novels.
Is that right?
Yes, if it's above a certain uh page count,
Oh,
They're
I never
graphic
knew
novels.
that. So it goes from
Yeah,
comic book to graphic novel.
exact. Graphic novel typically is just a collection of the monthly. So in other words, the monthly is 16 pages, let's say. So you collect all of the. Usually, you have a 12 issue run. Then you
Okay.
collect them all together, and it's a marketing thing. You know what I'm saying? The publishers understand that. Well, you know what? How can we monetize this more than just the monthly take? Well, they had a great idea. They collected every issue and put it in a graphic novel format. And what it is now they have actually this is one of the this is not mine, of course, but this is
Yeah.
what it looks like. It's a book,
With all the
but
12 or
it's
so issues in it.
yeah, exactly. So the format actually allows them to be in the bookstore. That's another.
Okay. That's the evolution.
The
I got
marketing thing is that because it's square bound,
Yeah.
right? And the way I don't know if you know anything about the bookstore, how they, whatever, but that's what they do. They have to have a square bound thing so that they can display it and sell it, as it were.
Got
So
it.
now that's why the graphic novel, ever since the '90s, it just exploded. It's its own genre, as it were.
I had no idea. Like I remember the old stands being a kid. Like you actually could go into like a five a dime store and just
Right.
all the comic. I haven't seen that, and I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. I mean,
They don't have those anymore.
which is
They
so
have.
sad. That was
I
like,
know. Those were the days, right? I remember when I was a kid, uh, coming home from school and going directly to my local dealer, as it were,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
getting my stuff, right? But nowadays they have these stores now. They have and then, like I said, the business as it was has um, evolved. So and also because of the advent of the internet, of course, it's easier now more than ever to do a project. So that's sort of like the happy confluence of things happening that made me really want. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna start the process of thinking of publishing it. So that's where Datu Talim came in. Because as a fan, I also was kind of disappointed
Hmm.
because I haven't seen anything that is remotely like what I'm doing. And it's kind of sad because there's tons of great artists there. And as a matter of fact, there are artists who actually are practitioners, right?
Right. Okay.
Raphael
Okay.
Kayana.
And Sack. Oh yeah.
Yeah, with Sayok. Yeah, he's a fantastic
He's
artist.
been doing it for like I remember when I was with. He was doing all the the logos for sure. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And for whatever reason, I haven't seen any. I mean, I've seen, of course, it's obvious, fantastic work and stuff, but nothing like you know what I longed for as a kid,
Yeah.
longed for as a fan, as it were. So that's what really made me drive it as well. Not only that, but also being a father now. I want to have something
Oh
that
yeah, you did right.
present present my background, my culture in a pop culture way.
Yeah.
That's not so hard nosed that maybe one at one point my son will say, "Oh, let me check out my what my dad does,"
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
whatnot. And again, in general, you don't have to be an FMA or martial artist, but if you're a fan of a great story, sword and sorcery, fantasy, like I said, Lord of the Rings type of thing, of course, this is for you. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens that the protagonist is a hardcore FMA. Although I have my own. Again, the setting of the story is from alternate universe. Okay, the alternate Earth so I can call my art any
Anything
anything
you
I
want.
want.
There you
So
go.
no offense to anybody that doesn't like my name, but that's my name. If you have your own name, of course, use it.
Yeah.
You have your own book, go ahead and use it. I My book is not here to be a history lesson. It's entertainment,
Yeah.
and it's just to you know make it palatable maybe to the general public.
No, I think it sounds like it. So what? 'Cause I remember you bring this up to me. It was over a year ago. About coming on about it, and so you finally got it done. So with respects to your novel, is it accumulation of individual, or did you have the individual first, or is it like, in other words, are there 12 in there, for example?
Well, the project is sort of laid out like this. It's a 3 volume graphic novel. In other words, there are 3 volumes. Uh, the latest count is about 150 pages per.
Okay.
So yeah, so what my plan is to start getting this out there, the word out and whatnot, and publish the first one first, then see that how that plays out, and then the rest. So like I said, because we have now self-publishing, I don't have to wait for DC or
Yeah.
Marvel to whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I can actually show them, look, this is what I mean. This is what the project is, and incidentally, having control of that is so important. As I'm sure you have experienced that with FMA discussions, right? You have a certain vision
Yeah.
that you want the thing to be.
My vision was it was never going to be politics. Just
Right. So but in the genesis of it, as it were, right, in the genesis of it, do you have a specific thing?
sure.
And and of course it's gonna evolve, it's gonna change as it goes on and whatnot, but you have, I hope you do, you have a block of episodes that this is exactly what I wanted to do.
Correct. Yeah.
Nothing. I didn't change. I didn't get any input from anybody. This is what I intended it to be, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's the same thing with me. Like, and again, my hope is the IP will be caught by Netflix. Netflix, if you're out there,
If you happen to be watching
Warner Brothers. Hey,
HBO,
there
cinema.
you go. Right. Hey, then at least I have a format that, this is my vision, and if they want to have the rights to it, of course, we can, negotiate.
You would be more than happy to throw numbers around.
Right, and then I can swallow the changes more easily,
Yeah.
right? Because I have this thing that I have, express, as it were. So yeah, so that's basically, the motivation, the drive that a lot that made me actually do this. And of course, because we have this community, we got to go to our community first, right?
Yeah, I would think, right? Yeah.
Exactly, we got to have the community first, so they can have an idea of what this is all about. And like I said, this is not to promote a specific art, or although I represent KI and whatnot. This is for the whole FMA world.
FMA community. Yeah.
Exactly. Just like FMA discussion, right? We or you strive to be inclusive with as a whole,
Yeah.
right? Of course, there's the bumps and
There were no bumps in FMA discussion. What are you kidding me?
yes, of course. But at least we tried, right? At
Yes.
least we
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's basically what I have in mind. I really want this to have a a positive image to the community out there, a positive uh, hit to popular culture. I mean, who else is going to do this unless somebody actually trained, right? And thankfully, we do have bright lights and bright stars out there who do, I mean, fantastic work. And John Wick movies are
Mm,
fantastic because the director it has trained. He's trained at in the Santo Academy.
right, right.
You know what I'm saying? They present the art well. It might not be FMA specific, but you can tell that they researched it.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely. You could tell, right? There was some at 100%. They put their due diligence. Sure. Yeah.
exactly. So Jeff Imada is another
No.
Santo stellar student who's in the business. I mean, you can go to Star Wars. Star Wars is replete with FMA. They won't call it FMA.
No, no. God
Of
forbid,
course,
right?
they call it something else. I forgot what it was called in the Star Wars world.
Yeah.
But the art is being presented. But I want it to be a bit more overt, if you will, or coming from an actual person that practices it, as it were. So
Yeah,
that
they're maybe not Hollywood affiliated, and just your, there is stuff coming from your average layman practitioner, right? For the
yeah,
common folks, so to speak, right? Um,
exactly.
yeah. Um, so I guess, like, how long has the project been going?
Uh, just been digesting for years. I mean, um, like I said, ever since, oh my God,
Pre-COVID?
before I was married, so 15
Oh,
years.
oh my gosh. So you've been thinking about this for a while.
Yeah, so that's why I say it's not uh fast passing fancy. It's not. No, it's actually, if I die today, this is what I'm going to leave.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is like
Oh my gosh.
a work. You know what I'm saying? But it's a work of love, actually. I'm not doing it for money, although the
Yeah,
money is, of course, please.
yeah.
Right. We do live in a material world, as Madonna used to say,
Oh
right?
my
Oh
God.
man, I just dated myself. Oh my
You have to,
God. Anyway,
yeah, you're gonna have to do 10 Hail Marys. Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, so it's been a long time, and I'm not a quitter. I never quit. You know,
Yeah, you stuck it
and that
through. It just took longer than you initially anticipated, but you know,
yeah, exactly. So I mean, like I said, like you need bumps and bruises along the way, setbacks and whatnot.
yeah, all the above,
And
right?
yeah, exactly. But if you have a vision for something, uh, and you really believe in it, I think you owe it to yourself to follow through.
Yeah, like who wants to, like, the regrets are, man, they're terrible.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to
Mhm.
look back and say, you know what, maybe I could have done something with this.
Oh, they're
That's the
terrible.
worst.
They're
That's the
terrible.
worst, man.
They're
I'd rather fail than at least I can say, you know
Yeah, I
what,
know.
I tried.
I tell
You know
my
what I'm
kids
saying?
that, you know what I mean? As long as it doesn't hurt anybody or hurt
Yeah.
yourself, just go out there, because I'm telling you, regret is worse than failing. And
Yeah, exactly. So
mm,
yeah, so that's basically what precipitated everything. Like I said, it took a while. Um because I'm a one man band. I don't have I'm not hiring any other artists or any other
yeah, you got, like, yeah, you're not. So when did it come to fold where you actually are putting ink on paper and et cetera and that? When did
well,
it go? In other words, when did it go from up here onto like paper?
oh, okay. Or just sketching. I'm a sketcher.
So it
I have
started
a
with some
sketchbook.
sketches as far as fit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sketches and stuff like that, and then oh, that looks good, that doesn't look good, whatever. So it coalesces, yeah, it comes together that way. It's not something. Every artist has different way of doing it. Some people write out the script first. Some people draw, like me. I draw first, and then from there, it progresses and stuff like that. Another interesting thing about this is that I did a lot of research about the Mongols,
The
the
Mongols.
Mongolian
Oh,
Empire,
Mongol. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, okay.
the Silk Road, not the drug thing on the internet. The silk, the real Silk Road, the one in China.
Okay.
This is where the actual story takes place.
Interesting. So,
It's
okay.
not, no, it's not based on the Philippines. And again, there's another. I call the Philippines another name in my universe. Okay, so, but yeah, the story takes place in during the 13th century, when the Mongol army or the Mongol empire has conquered China. And
Okay.
get this, did you know that the Mongols almost made it down to Indonesia?
No,
They did. See, it's like, what? Are you kidding me?
I would have never known. Had no idea that. No.
I knew they were in Japan and
I
Korea.
mean, I knew they were a force to be reckoned with, but I had no
Yeah,
idea that they got that far. Yeah.
yeah, they reached down to Indonesia. And I was
Wow.
like, wow. And of course, being a martial artist, right? I've trained in Silat. Of course, the
Yeah.
brain started percolating. It's like, wow, man, they would have fought these guys. What was the conditions, right? So that really sparked my desire to, like, wow, I never knew that. What else do I don't know? Well, here's another thing. Because of the Silk Road, there's a lot of information that has uh disseminated through that. And of course, martial art um information, whether it be fighting directly or an actual exchange thing, would have
Right.
happened. You know what I'm saying? This is like a direct uh, link from east to the west.
Far okay. Far as like just not just trade, you mean, but just everything.
There's a lot of other things that had happened during that time. Religion, obviously, uh,
Yeah.
trade, as I mentioned, of course, knowledge,
Yeah. Hostile
knowledge,
takeovers.
and fighters. What
Yeah.
you fight, you see, oh, guy, I'm picking that up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You see things. You hear about, oh, that guy's a good fighter. You
Yeah.
know, so that's what. Wow. Oh man, that's rich. I haven't seen that personally. Haven't
Sure.
seen that explored. So I decided, well, why not put a Filipino in there?
So the Filipino is actually in
He
China
starts off in Mongolia.
and Mongolia, works with, and then okay.
Yes, and the story is that there was a shipwreck. He was a young kid. The shipwreck happened, and because of the currents that goes around there, the currents will actually take you to the bottom, the south part of China, and that's where Talim got discovered by a
Okay.
Mongol general who just happens to be by and said, "Well, what's this? Who's this kid?" Right, and that's why he part of his life grew up in a Mongolian camp, learning their art, walk,
Interesting.
the wrestling, the Mongolian wrestling. That was
The
his
Mongolian rest, right? Okay. Okay.
exactly. See, like, there's a lot of things that are like, wow, okay.
Yeah, as opposed to like, I mean, without talking to you first, I mean, I'm going to think, okay, I mean, obviously by the title,
Yeah,
Okay, there's going to be, about a Filipino, and if you obviously, I'm going to guess it's in the Philippines, or he made it somewhere to the New World, or but one of the two,
exactly.
right? I mean, you know.
Yeah. So that the idea is again, once we get Talim there, he of course he grew up within the Mongolian culture. He absorbed it and whatnot. But his general adopted general father also had a friend who was actually not a castaway but an exile from the Philippines. He was a
Okay,
friend of his. So after he grew up a little bit, then he allowed his friend Apo Bakal is the name. That guy is the actual person who trained him in Kali-san. Now Kali-san is my world's version of Kali.
okay,
It's Eskrima and Arnis.
got it, Kaisan.
So Kali-san is like has everything, right? Again, you see it's like there's a common thread going on here where you oh yeah, I, I recognize that story as it were. So that's basically how it started.
So that's how. Okay, far as okay, so you have it. He shipwreck, discovered by a Mongolian general, trained in a Mongolian camp. Eventually learns other stuff. Um, so when you're doing this, did you have like issues per se, or you were just gonna just lump it? You were just you're
No,
going
I
to
have I have the first graphic novel done.
you have the first one, and that's just
It's
one.
just the origin story
Okay,
actually.
so it's not broken into issues per se.
No, it's one volume. He tells you how he came about an
Gotcha.
island boy being in the middle of a desert.
To be
That's
so
basically
oh
what it.
so from being shipwreck
Yeah,
conclusion in a desert.
exactly. So the timeline is that shipwreck. He got found by the general. You know, he got trained. He got trained further by Apo Bakal. He joined the Golden Horde. He
The goal.
actually, yeah, because if you're a certain age, you're in Mongolia. Guess what? You're conscripted.
Okay, this
So
is
he's
fun.
actually in the midst of all this conquering.
How interesting! Wow, wow, wow. So do you have a copy of it there?
Yeah, I do. I'll send you a rough draft of
No,
what
no, I
we.
mean, but like for just the folks can see it. Do you have like what do you have the
Uh,
actual?
um,
If not, no,
no,
no
but you
worries.
can go to a Halo Halo app to get a taste of what it's like. That's the whole thing about Halo Halo app is that it's a new platform established by a guy named Will Sportaccio. He's one of the founders of Image Comics. I don't know if you remember back in the day, 90s. They were the ones who broke away from Marvel Comics and they were
Okay, Martin, the girl.
rebels.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the rebels, man. They I mean they were just artists, but they
And they just
hated the way
said
yeah,
we're
they
done with
hated the way
Marvel.
right. They hated the way that the business part of it.
Gotcha.
So of course, they pulled together and boom, they blew up. You know what I'm saying? So that's the guy. That's the guy who actually approved my short story to be up in his app. You know,
So okay, so is it like kind of like when you say self-editing, kind of like Lulu, where you can kind of do it on your own, or is it
uh, that's the next step. Right now,
okay?
I'm in the process of just getting it known. The
Okay,
general public, my friends, whoever might be interested and whatnot. I'll be continuing to publish short stories in Hollow Hollow to just give a taste of what's to come and whatnot. But eventually, I will either again. It just depends on what happens. But at one point, I have to decide whether I want to launch it myself or just wait until somebody else
maybe picks it up and
wants it.
launches it
Yeah,
for you.
exactly. But I don't want to wait until the whole book is printed. People
Yeah.
need to know what it's like. So a happy medium is like, okay, well, I have some short stories,
Okay.
and the short stories actually touch on the elements of the graphic novel. So it's like think of it as an appetizer, right?
Yeah.
You got a whole
Gotcha.
spread, but the chef is still busy.
Yeah,
So
you're right. You're getting a few samplers. Okay. Francisco's got a question. Willis, legend in
yes,
comic book
exactly.
fans. Okay. Okay.
He is definitely one of the Magnificent Seven, who actually most of the comic books that came out of the 90s are from their Image label. And Deadpool, guess
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
That came from the group.
Got
Rob
it.
Liefeld is the guy who actually uh, invented it, but it's among that uh, group that did that. Wills is well known for his X-Men's characters. So they have all these Spawn. All those guys are like incredible.
Oh, so these are not obviously these are not chumps. I mean, well, um,
Yeah.
so
So
what's the site called? What's the site
I,
called again?
I'm sorry.
What's this site called again? So I can put in the
Hollow
comment section.
Hollow. It's
Hollow, hollow.
HALO
Okay.
app. APP. You can actually look at it at the flyer on this.
So just
So yeah, I
www.hollow
actually put it in there on
app
the
at .com.
lower right hand corner. You can
Okay.
just go over there, and it's free, right? No charge and whatnot. All you got to do is download the app. I mean, it's reputable. It's not going to give
You're
you
not gonna get a virus.
weird whatever. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, also another person that's involved in founding this platform is the Black Eyed Peas. Apple the app is part of the leadership of this platform.
Okay.
So Black Eyed Peas people support Halo Halo
Nice.
app.
I'm looking at this right now. I'm gonna put it in the comment section now. Just so folks, and I got it. HollowhollowApp.com. Okay, easy enough.
Yeah. Hmm.
So folks, here it comes. Just so they can actually go check it out. Okay, so Hollow Hollow. Actually go check it out. Okay, so Hollow Hollow. It's not what I wanted. So bear with me. Bear with me. There we go.
Yep.
Should be coming in. HolloHollowApp.com. Okay. So folks, yeah, there it is. So if you guys want to check it out, let me see here. I didn't know Waylese was Filipino until I saw him at the SDDCC eating adobo. I thought he was Italian or something. While this Portasio to me was a European sounding name. Yeah, the last name anyhow. I can see that.
Yeah. So it's very very well known in the pop culture and whatnot. So again, to me, it's a major step in exposing my work uh, in a platform that people will see. So again, just like anything else, it's all about the algorithm, right? So you gotta get in there, smash the love button
Those
so that they can
algorithms.
see it. Yeah, exactly. So it just uh, eyeballs is what they're trying to look at here. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So and if in return I promise to be consistent in my posting, I'm actually done with the second part of or second episode of the short story. So it should be up in a few weeks and whatnot. So there's another opportunity for you to see more work of mine and whatnot. So definitely something I'm hoping that people will get behind, and something that people will love, you know.
So wow, wow. All right. So all they need to do is check it out. They have to download the app. Um,
Download the app, and you don't even have to register. But the only thing about the registration is that uh, you can't hit the love button without registering. You can see the art. I mean, I don't care really, but I'm a pragmatic man. You gotta hit the love button, right? You gotta do that because
you
of the
got it.
algorithm and whatnot.
Yeah.
And and like I said, it's free. There's no strings attached and whatnot. And at one point, hey, maybe if everybody likes it or enough people likes it, maybe I'll make original drawing.
Yeah, I think
We
that
hit
would
a
be.
certain level,
I think people would
right?
like that.
A certain level, I can draw you a personalized Datu Talim sketch signed by me.
See,
Now you're starting at the ground floor, man. I don't know about maybe 5 years from now, you can't get me to sign anything.
you're going to be just so out of touch.
So get it while it's hot, right?
Do you
Get
have
on the
any?
ground floor.
Actually, do you have any of the sketches there?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any of the sketches there?
Uh Hold on. Actually, hold on. Nobody has ever seen this. Okay, this is my own sketchbook,
Okay.
but these are like basic drawings of what you're gonna see in the. I don't know if you can see this.
Actually, yeah. If you bring up a little closer, but I'm seeing it from here. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Definitely can see it.
So I do research my stuff.
Look at that.
There you go. Right. So
Whew.
so in the book, it's not only FMA but also CLOT in there,
So
which is
he goes
something
from
interesting that
Mongolian
I've never seen
wrestling.
it before, right? I've seen characters in different uh projects that say they do CLOT, but they never show any of the postures.
Oh my God! You just did the for the beset sweep.
Yes,
Have to do that
I
for
do know
oh my
those.
God.
Yes, exactly. So that's going to be in there. So again, uh, you have the inside scoop, right? You go open it up and it's a comic,
I
but
would
what is
love to see
oh
C Lot in there, like actually seeing like really diagram like takedowns or sweeps or the
yeah,
like yeah, that would be like Beset Loire or Dahlem or something.
there you
Yeah, that
go,
would be
right?
really
Puder Kapala, right?
yeah.
I got that in there. I
Because
got that.
your background's Buddha Nagara too, right?
Yes, I do have a background in that.
That's my background
So,
with Burton. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, really? Okay, nice. Very cool.
Very lever heavy, off balancing.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's perfect for me because I can't. uh, at my heaviest, I'm 160, and even that is pushing it, man. That's too heavy for me and whatnot. But it's it's an opportunity for me to like involve everything that I particularly like. You know what I'm
I think
saying?
it's great. I mean, the fact that you're putting Silat, so he's gone from Mongolian wrestling to Kali to Silat.
There you go. Right.
He's got some
It's not
wrestling, he's got
like,
some weapons, some empty hand.
there you go, everything and anything, right? Yeah, and in the Silk Road, you meet all kinds of martial artists. Who's
Yeah,
to
you're right.
say
I
that he
mean,
can't meet a kung fu artist or a Bersilat man or whomever? Even the Russians are involved. I got Russian. Yeah,
you meet a spets now.
there you go. Right. I you got some African uh, bodyguards there, right? So
Wow.
this is not just a little thing. Is I've done my research on it, and and that's part of the joy, actually, when you make stuff like that. Oh, by the way, here's what it looks like more.
Look at that. So that's
So
actually
this is
kind of
the
more
actual
final
graphic
product.
novel. This is the proof.
Wow,
So I
wow,
put a
wow.
lot of time and effort in it. It's not
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
um
Jeez, look at that. Wow. Look at the detail. Wow. And that was all you, huh?
yep, all of that.
Man, jeez.
So yeah, so and like I said, it's hard work, but again, I love it. Just like
Yeah, if you love
martial arts,
it, then
right?
it's not so chore like, or you know what I mean.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
just like martial art, there are times when it's hard.
Renee. Are you familiar with Renee, Dog Brother Growling Dog?
Say again?
Are you familiar with Renee Kokolo Growling Dog?
No.
So we're doing a new podcast together, and he's like, "Question: Does your guest? What does your guest think of the Meh podcast?" He's just joking.
Okay.
He's a kind of a clown, but I think it's great. No, I mean, just seeing what you're doing there. So not only is it this journey of this young kid shipwrecked, getting accepted by a Mongolian tribe, but also a journey not just geographically speaking, but a martial art journey, which getting exposed to these different arts, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it sort of mirrors my own journey a little bit.
Oh, kind
You
of
know,
mirroring that somewhat.
yeah, because I don't have any background in Mongolian wrestling, but I've explored a little bit more of the wrestling part when I was way younger than I am now.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of like as a author, you can't help but imbue some of your own particulars in your
Yeah,
own
yeah, right. I
work.
mean, yeah, I can see that, right? You're going to impart yourself some shape, way, or form, right?
Exactly. At least a framework for it,
I mean,
So
after that many discussion, I part my personality. So how are you
yeah,
not going to do that? And right?
exactly. There's the part that the personal part of it, and the framework, yeah, for sure. But I don't have his abs for sure, and you don't have his hair.
Yes.
So
So what? All right. How many pages?
the graphic novel,
Yeah.
the first graphic novel is I have it at 130 right now, 130 pages,
But there's a lot of pics. I mean,
which is a lot. Like I said, it takes a lot of effort because I'm a one man band. I do everything, including the editing and stuff like that. So it is a labor of love. It's something that I want to do,
mm,
something that hopefully that people when they see it, they will share the enthusiasm I have about it, and tell their friends and stuff. It's something that I want to have out there so that the next generation that comes up, and
mm.
they might not be necessarily a martial arts head, but they happen to see this in the common marketplace and say, oh wow, what's this
Right.
type of thing. So that's basically how I see this as well. It's like indirectly um within my mission statement, which is to promote the art.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just doing it in a different way. I'm doing it in a more pop culture way, and then from there, we'll see how it goes. You know.
So, have you had anybody look at it that's in the field? Any like opinions or thoughts from them? Anybody?
Um, you mean professional?
Yeah, peers. I mean, anybody
Oh
that's, I
yeah,
guess.
definitely. I don't know if your uh podcast audience know. This is in Netflix. You can actually look at this. It's called Trece. Trece. Trese.
Trece. Okay.
Trece. It is a graphic novel. It was a graphic novel adapted to become an anime. And guess what? It's Filipino made. Budget Tan is the guy who wrote it. And he's kind enough to follow me and says, I can't wait to see how this story goes.
He liked it. What he saw.
He likes what he saw. So
All right, well, that's
I'm
good.
gratified by that. That was a great encouragement. And of course, by Will's posting it up on his app is another validation. I'm saying, oh wow, thank you, because he could have said
Wow, wow,
thanks,
wow.
try next time. You know what I'm saying? So um
You're involved. So no, I don't think you're involved with him. He just got a peer review from him, right?
I watched it. No, I wasn't involved.
Yeah, you just got a
I
peer review from him.
Right.
Yeah.
But the writer follows me in
Okay. Oh,
IG.
good. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and had a kind word. So definitely, budget. Thank you. I
Yeah, I mean, I
appreciate.
can't hurt, obviously.
Yeah.
So what are you doing far as like, I mean, besides here putting on the group, like what are you doing far as getting the word out there?
Well, this year, of course, we're gonna try to start a more seminars and stuff. Uh, Vico and I have talked, and we're trying to get some sort of infrastructure and get that going further and whatnot. So hopefully by springtime, we'll have something.
So you
Uh,
think in conjunction with seminars, you would kind of launch kind of there?
what do you? How do you mean?
I mean, a novel. I mean, the
Oh, the graphic. Oh, yeah. Sorry. The In terms of the graphic novel, so I continue to finish the work. Obviously, the work is first and foremost. Obviously, if I don't have that, none of this really counts, right? So I'm gonna finish the second episode of the short story. So, like I said, please tune in to the app. It should be up in a couple of weeks and whatnot. So I'll continue that. Then from there, hopefully, reach out to other podcasters if they want to an interview or they're curious about what this is all about. I'm more than happy to speak to them and whatnot. And like I said, it's we're starting on the ground floor.
Well, I'm
So
thinking though, with all the FMA festivals, like I know there's something coming up, this barbecue around the LA. I forget exactly the location is, but I know it's pretty significant. Like, have you thought like bringing some stuff there, as far as advertisement and stuff like that? They
possibly,
sound pretty receptive. Like,
yeah, yeah. So I've reached out to a couple of people and stuff like that and see if they're open to doing
I
something.
mean, you
So
set up a table. Like I know for a fact people set up tables to sell stuff, so I can't see why
yeah, of
wouldn't you
course,
set up a table to
right,
promote. You know what I mean?
exactly. So yeah, that's a possibility and whatnot. But again, I have to balance out because of the time constraints that I have in terms of like doing the actual work plus doing the promotional. And you know this, Dean. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta. Uh, I'm at that point right now. I'm trying to balance it out so that I have enough material to justify me speaking to somebody, and not doing my work, type of thing.
God forbid you get a call and you're like,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So
yeah.
yeah, so that basically definitely something that I'm open to and whatnot. So we'll see what happens. But again, the primary thing is that if you go to the app and stuff like that, you get the flavor of what you potentially can support. You know what I'm saying? Because it, and as I mentioned, um, I'm thinking about launching it myself through a Kickstarter and whatnot. But I understand some people are kind of like, well, I don't know, what does this look like? That's why I sort of had this idea of doing the short story, because now you can see how I tell the story.
Right.
You can be familiar with the characters. I'm not a flake. That if I say something that I'm producing something, and you pledge to it, you'll get something. You know what I'm saying? And totally, as a consumer as well, or a supporter, I want to be sure. Especially nowadays, where a lot of people say a lot of things but never follow through.
Yeah, I'm trying to. What you should do is when we get done here, put some. I would put the link. I mean, I bet you're gonna get folks on there. If you put it in the group there, the whole. I know you. I know it's on the flyer there.
Yeah, yeah, I will.
But sometimes if you actually just put that and that's the focal point, that tends to work better.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, that would just be my suggestion on
Okay.
that. I think that would definitely get some folks to at least check that out. Like obviously you can put the picture there, but say, hey,
Yeah,
for the
the
short
actual.
clip, go to such and such. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. Yeah, definitely will do that.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
folks, if you
but
do
yeah,
see
and like I
it,
said,
there it
it
is.
there you go. It's the bottom right hand corner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
it's kind of
Guru
small. Yeah.
Jeff will make a post. Yeah, and just let me know what you do, and I'll approve it immediately.
Okay.
And I'll put it in the FMA discussion you're up to.
Okay.
I'll love
Yeah.
her. So yeah, I mean, I think that would be your yeah.
Yeah. So the hope is that, again, enough people will like it, and enough people would want to support it, and then as I mentioned, the first volume is I would guesstimate about 90% done, because I'm in the process of editing at this point, which is the hardest part, because now I have to make sure that it's readable, all that kind of stuff. Um, but as I showed you, it's pretty much.
It's nice. You're not taking shortcuts. You're not using AI to put out your wording. I mean, you're actually putting work into this. I'm gonna tell
No.
you something.
Yeah.
Books are just
It.
doing it, man. Like,
Yeah.
oh, here's a
There's no
book.
way. Right now, AI, man, that plagiarism is what it is. Let's call it what it is. Plagiarism. And no, I'm not using AI at all. It's
No, no, and
yeah.
I'm not surprised by
No,
that.
no, no.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I totally get it, because of
yeah.
the way it is right now. And I'm actually, you know what? Back in the day where they first introduced CGI to the movies, right? We thought that, wow, that's amazing,
Mm,
right? Remember those wireframe
yeah.
things? Now you look back 10 years ago, and it's like, what the heck was I
Yeah, no,
thinking?
yeah, old, like, yeah, right.
Like, it's barely moving in the screen. And it's like,
It's like,
whoa,
yeah, it's like looking
right?
at seeing a 1920s car on
Eh,
moving on
eh,
a
eh,
highway, and now you're freaking Subaru that's got two chips in it, and
Exactly. Well, it's the same thing with AI,
you
right?
know,
Nowadays, you got AI that looks photorealistic, but they suck.
you can
They
tell
don't have any.
photos. It's actually pretty easy now to tell, like especially with portraits. You're like,
Yeah.
wait a
Oh
minute,
yeah. 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 For sure.
yeah,
But what are we looking at here? I mean, is it quality? I mean, there's a certain quality.
we got Richard Pack.
Uh,
All right.
yeah, and hand. And again, that's why you can type, of course. Now you have algorithm to do actual script, but it lacks life.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know
thing
what it
is, you
is.
can get like in other words, if you didn't ever write something like that, you probably get right because they don't have any compare and contrast to see anything that you wrote before that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you if you put out some stuff and they're like,
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Oh
But again,
man.
I understand the fanciness and whatnot, and why AI is such a, it's the newest shiny thing that people
Oh,
see, right?
it's
I
not
mean, it's
going
a
away. You know.
yeah, it's like, wow, you can do that now. Wow, yeah, yeah. But again, as an artist, again, you get to see what the balance is all about. You know what I'm saying? Am I using for efficiency or what? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a cost to it. There's a cost in everything that we do,
Mm,
right? And
yeah,
then
I
if
just think it's.
yeah,
I gotta be careful here so I don't get in trouble because I've been pretty good lately not getting in trouble.
no, I mean there's nothing wrong with at least get a
I
structure.
think
Hey,
as a tool, but when you're using it just 100%,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's just my thing as
yeah,
an artist. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm gonna go for the wrist, not for the keyboard type
yeah,
of thing,
yeah.
right? It just me because my skill has been hard earned, just like in martial arts, right? I mean, we sweat, we bleed, right?
Mm.
We take our lumps,
We did. Um, see,
right?
I gotta
I mean,
stop.
we
See, I'm
we
gonna get myself into
yeah.
shit.
I mean, so now we get to like yeah. Now it's like I'm afraid that we're in the Matrix era where everybody's gonna be able to download I know kung fu without the cost.
Or we're not even
Yeah.
stepping on the floor.
Right. I mean, right. I mean, because that's where we're headed, right?
I know it's a
On,
dangerous. I tell you, man, it's like this technology.
I know
It's a dangerous road.
it's a slippery road,
I
right?
bet.
Because
Yeah.
Elon is now touting the implant,
I
right?
mean,
I mean, they're assuming that the person putting that implant is a nice guy that has no ulterior motive, that he's not going to slip some other stuff in
I
there.
know when they're talking about these self-driven car, and I'm like, no, I am not getting in a car that does not have a human being operating that thing. No, I don't care.
Exactly, right? So it's the same thing with the media, same thing with the arts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Majority of the artists I respect and know hate it because again,
of course they do
we
because
have
here it is. They got these people that are just flying by, putting things out, and you got these guys that are really working hard, struggling, changing things, really trying to be
yeah,
authentic.
yeah,
You know,
exactly, and then some
fly by night
Yahoo,
guy making a quick
yeah,
buck.
exactly.
You know,
And that happens even in the martial arts world, right?
oh,
There's a recent
it's
thing that
happening.
happened,
It happens every day
right?
in MMA discussion. I see.
there's
Let's
a
call for
recent
what
thing
it
that
is.
there's a recent thing that happened that somebody reprinted some JKD books without
Output. Huh? I'm not
without
sure
uh
either.
without reimbursing the original authors. That's thievery, man.
And I'm sure
I
that's
have those books, the
happening a
original
lot.
ones,
Yeah, I
but
know.
see, and the guys are still alive.
That's terrible. That's yeah. But it's going on in our world. It's going on in our martial arts world. Like you'll see guys using other people's stuff, and they
And
can't even give
personally,
credit to the
yes,
person or the influence, the idea, the concept, the tactic, the technique. They can't even just give accreditation to that person. It's
it's the same thing with Master Topper. Master Topper has uh, filmed some tapes out there, and not one penny goes to his family.
it's terrible, terrible. And but meanwhile, though, they're getting off on their
Yeah,
channel.
they repackage it and whatnot. They repackage it to say, "Oh, Master Topper's
I'm
official,
telling
whatever,"
you,
and whatnot. And that's why it's like it's the same. What's the difference between that and the AI? You know what I'm
I
saying? As an
and
artist,
I don't think there's much to be honest. Yeah.
no, because you're collating all the data that AI has in open market. Everything that's in the internet is open, right?
Yeah.
But you never ask each one of those person, and some of those things that you collate are copyrighted. So what happens, right? So what happens is now we have this. It looks shiny in the surface. It looks fantastic. It looks realistic and whatnot. But there's this I'm a guitar player also. I'm want to be musician, but there's no soul to it, right? There's no you can't replace that.
Yeah.
I don't care. Maybe in the future when we're all long and gone, they can infuse AI with that soul.
It's all over though, Guru Jeff. Look at music today. You can't,
I
people are
know.
not even making albums anymore. I'm
I
going to make
know.
this hit. It's going to get 1 million downloads. And I don't care about quality and all this, man. It's like you
Exactly.
look at it, it's the
Exactly.
craft. There's no more
Exactly.
craft. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
all these fly by
Exactly.
night quick fixes, this, that, the other thing, you know?
Yeah. 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 So definitely something that I'm aware of, and something that as martial artists and as artists per se, we should be proactively stating what it is. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think so. I think so.
And this is my part. Although I
That's the
use
thing though, like how do you know what's going on? So now the decision is, and like and it's, I tell you, it's a dual-edged sword, because I found myself doing that, and then all of a sudden here comes the blowback, and now you're
yeah,
dealing with that, and now you get
exactly.
distracted for a couple days because you dealt with
Yeah,
negativity. I can't tell you how many
yeah,
times I've gone through that to bring attention or truth to something, and
of
it comes
course.
back and smacks you. You know?
Exactly, exactly. So that's why you got to decide as an individual, what is this? What am I doing this for? Or what is my goal? Right? What is the vision, as it were? You know. And as I mentioned earlier, I want to at least have something that is mine. That it actually came from here to out.
Yeah, but
At one
anybody that
point in my life.
knows you, they're gonna know that it came from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
At one point in my life that like I said, this is me, as it were. So this is one way I can do it, and of course, when I practice the martial arts, that's another way. We express our teachers through our art, right? We express, what they taught us through our art.
oh, are we all right? Here's the money is with the folks who don't mind looking. You know, yeah. My thing to them, Vigo, is that whatever the reflection in the mirror tells you in your household,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
if you can look at that reflection, then far be it from me to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing, right?
Exactly.
Here's okay. This is a long one from Boss Day. According to Master June Pueblos, sparring training partner of Edgar Salute, and who oftentimes was a cameraman during those video shoot meetings, he left his personal collection and copies of the team videos for Illustrisimo and Lameko with Master Tuber before he left for the UK. I'm curious which and by how much of it do we see that are shared online?
All you do is Google. I don't want to name names because litigation, whatever. But it's out there. You know what I'm saying? It's out there, and you can tell. It's like, man, dude, come on. Is it gonna break you to give the Ricketts family acknowledgement, where it came from? That's really, and again, that's what Master Topper taught us: is that give credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Right? It's simple. Why? It doesn't make you less.
It's
Saying the
all, but
mount.
it's just it's part of the marsh. I'm telling you, seeing FMA is just I could pick fights every day in FMA discussion if I want to, but I go in there like, okay,
Yeah,
there's no profanity, nobody's calling each other names.
yeah.
Okay, I'm out. And
I
just
hear.
because you'll find something that somebody, it's just the
Yeah.
ethics, moral compass has
Yeah.
not everybody,
No,
not
no,
saying
no.
everybody.
I agree. I agree.
You
Yeah,
know.
absolutely.
5%. I'm not sure what Vigo means by 5%. Maybe he'll clarify. But Yeah, I wish you luck with this. I think it's great. I think for a multitude of reasons. One, you get to express yourself and what you've been doing and your creativity. I think it's great for the FMA community. I think it's great that for those well, I shouldn't say comic books anymore, right? It's
Yeah.
uh, so I think, yeah. So I wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I think what we got to do is, so yeah, so what you got to do is you got to get to some of these festivals in California, get a table, right? Number two, when we get done here, you got to go to the FMA discussion. Let me know, and I'll post immediately the whole, just where the address is, so folks can just go right in there, download the app,
I
including
will.
me.
Yep.
Um, and then what we got to do is when you get it, yeah, we'll bring you back on when you got
Yeah.
the
That'll be
final part.
great. Awesome. And again, I thank you so much for allowing me
Oh,
to have some time and to vent a little bit. I mean,
yeah, I would. Oh
obviously,
no, my gosh,
obviously I have some pent up passion
no, no,
about
no. You
certain
know what
things.
though? But that's what. Yeah, but no. You should be doing this. This what needs to happen, Jeff. This what need. People need to say it.
Yeah.
Everybody's so reluctant. They don't want to say it because they
Yeah.
feel like they're. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten caught on the other side because my intentions were good. Maybe they didn't come out. But you know what though?
Right.
You have to get out there and say it because nothing's going to change if you don't.
Right.
You know? So
Yeah.
don't feel bad. Say it.
No, I don't. I don't. I just and again, I appreciate the time and the effort. Guys, whoever listening, thank you so much. I appreciate your time and making an effort to actually tune in live. And again, if you have any questions, any comments, I'm on IG and I'm on Facebook and stuff like that. Please feel free to contact me directly. And I can't wait to share with you guys the next episode.
Yeah, so definitely reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to get you on. Really, it would
All
be.
right.
I'd be really stuff like this. I'm so behind it. So
Thank you so much, Dean. I appreciate
yeah,
it.
yeah. So you just let me know and we'll make it
I
happen.
will.
All right, I'm gonna be looking for your post to be approved. So.
As soon as I'm out. Yeah.
All right, you take care. Hey,
All
good
right.
chatting with you. Hey,
Thank you guys.
great
Thank
chatting with
you
you
all.
before the episode. That was some good stuff
Yes,
there.
definitely. All right. Take
You
care.
take care.
Bye bye.
Uh, all right, that wraps up. My gosh. Oh, 506. Losing count here with the two episodes. So next, we're gonna be getting Lameco back on. Actually, I think it was in the comment section. Tony Caruso under the RP Felix, Guru Felix. So yeah, we were really fortunate to get Guru Felix on before he passed away. Um, Pretty sad. One of the saddest moments in FMA discussion, actually. His daughter reached out and said, I want to thank you for bringing my father. It was just like a tearjerker. But at any rate, Tony's coming on, and actually, I'm going to be scheduling that with him next week. So that should be fun because everybody knows how I feel about Lameco. And I just think it needs more do. And whatever I can do to facilitate that, we're going to do it. So next week on that. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And please download that app for Guru Jeff. Sounds pretty easy, right? He's going to put in the FMA discussion. I'll be sure to highlight it. All right, folks. Tonight, test run for Marshall Meh with Renee Jeff Berger. And that will be airing live Wednesday at 8 o'clock if you want to check that out. All right, folks.